another spring, and the same thing happening which happened last year. We are in the middle of spring. We are months away from summer. That said, first of all, hello. I forgot to say that because I'm a bit cold and I forgot that it's already spring. We will start putting some greens and brassicas today. What I want to talk about is the temperatures where we are in the 50s at nights, and when you're in the 50s at nights, that's a good enough temperature. 50 degrees Fahrenheit is good enough to start your plants. I looked at my temperatures. We are going into high 30s. It's a bit too cold, but I will risk it, and the reason, and I'll explain to you why. These raised gardens are done using ecoculture. I've done multiple videos about it. Go watch them. But what happens is things start settling down. We refilled everything before when winter started, but some things to do with animals that animals would have come and dug. That's one thing. The other thing is it still is settling. First few years of ecoculture, things will settle because you have what? You start with logs, you have branches, then you have leaves, and then you have soil. It settles. It does not settle in a year or so. So first thing we need to do are 3 raised gardens. We're not about to use all of them. I think the amount of plants we have, and just to show you where we are, I'll do 2. Even in that, I have some plants, not enough, but I did bring my own seeds that I'll put them in the middle. I have some reddish beets, 2 different kind of beets, turnip. We'll fill this up. Jan will help me with that. We'll add everything, we'll water it, and that's it. That's how simple it is. Get some soil, and once we get the soil in, Jan fills it. So we have 3 raised gardens. We are about to use 2 only because we don't have enough plants. So what do I have over here? Arugula, cabbage, lettuces, cauliflower, broccoli. So idea will be simple. Let's keep it simple. I do like to crowd, but I'll crowd differently. So, I showed you my seeds. So I'll plant these. Actually, and also have some flowers. Flowers always make things look beautiful. Onions, which were growing inside, and you will see them in this garden. What I do is I always plant them towards the corners. They do not produce an onion, but they will produce the green and eventually seeds. So you just put them in, cut some of these, and you'll be good. Poppy plant, I didn't water it properly, so it's not looking the best, but I'll still try to save it. Marigold and some other flowers. So I'm about to start the cauliflower. I'll put 2 over here. I'll put 2 on the other one. There's no rhyme and reason behind it. It's just that one, it might look good. The other would be if some animal gets to something, at least it would not be both places. Let's add 2 of the broccoli. Again, see me? I'm putting 1 over here, putting 1 over here. 2 feet it needs. Now I'm giving it a bit more space. So broccoli, as I said, and the other 2 will go over there. And my last brassica was my cabbage. So let's go on that side. Again, no rhyme and reason. And 2 over here. We're good to go. We'll add flowers later. We have different lettuces. Again, I'll throw them randomly. And with these, I'll come towards the middle of things. Oops, here we go. 1 and 2, and I got cheated. There were only 2 in the cell. There was nothing else. So okay, that happens. You cannot blame anybody. Add a few more. A different kind of lettuce. This is romaine. Again, roughly a foot apart. This is done. Arugula, one of my favorite. lettuce greens. I like the bitterness of it. 1 and 2. I might make them tighter because I think I have more um, plants than the space. Let's do this. Do some seeds, but let's do some flowers. So I've got marigold, 4 of them. Let's add one over here. Let's add one over here. Put one over here. Now you'll remember from last year that I have these hoops. I can cover it with plastic right now. What I'll do is not to cover them right now. Again, experimentation to see how it works. But if I do find that the plants are not doing as good as what I want, I might cover it, but not today. So we only planted 2 other planters. Yanfil, the middle one, we let it sit, and we'll do seeds sometime later in a week or so. Mostly different kind of lettuce greens, different brassicas, as I already mentioned, a couple of flowers. That's all we have. Now what I'll do is I'll put seeds in, and which people call it interplanting. So something like this. Because do keep in mind, by the time I start eating the lettuces, the other ones will start growing. And it also means that when they are ready, these will be gone. You can use your hands, you can use a trowel. Some people call it a spoon. Doesn't make a difference what you call it. It's doing the same kind of thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 rows, roughly speaking. But who's counting? So let's start adding some seeds. So I go in my pocket and randomly, whatever I find. Let's do some radishes over here. Beets I'll do in that one. I'll do turnips over here. And these actually, move turnips over here and do these. Okay, so I'll move them over there. Simple, very simple. Easiest thing to do on the face of the earth. Take some seeds. If you overseed, don't worry. You can always thin them. I'm not trying to do any measurements right now. I'm randomly putting things. And as I said, as it'll start growing, I can always thin them up. There's no reason ever to make life difficult than what it's supposed to be. Few centimeters apart, half an inch kind of a thing. Too big to begin with. And a good thing about radish, which I really appreciate, you can eat its greens also. So when they're young and tender, when you're thinning them, you can actually just pick the seeds and put them in your salads. 1 row, 2nd row. Let's do another one. Once you're done, cover it lightly, cover it lightly. And these ones also cover it lightly. So now I've got what? 6 rows of 2 different kind of radishes. You can, if you want, you can put names. The reason I won't do it, because by the time it happens, bit of experience I have on hand, I'll be able to tell what's what. So 3 different seeds are done over here. The icicle or mooli, regular radish, and turnip. Once these things start growing, it'll give you a lot of food. In that one, I'll do beets. And since I only was able to get 2 rows of turnip, I might add some extra turnip over there also. But with the beets, I've got 2 different kind of beets. One are the regular ruby queen. These ones, look at the color. There's a white and the turnip color. Do remember one thing about beets. Look at my hand. There are many seeds which are technically speaking pods. Beets are one of those. The seeds are inside. But so when you put it, you have to be careful, because each of this pod will have multiple seeds. Cilantro is another example. So over here, and since they're bigger, try to figure this one better than what I was doing with the other seeds. So you have to be careful when you water your plants. I think it's still good enough that I can water it. It was later than that. I would have waited till tomorrow. I think the temperature tonight is about to get in the high 30s. It's not about to freeze everything, so I'll water it, but not too much. So what did we do? We did brassicas. We did different lettuce greens. We did 3 different kind of flowers. We whatever onions were sitting inside the house, we added those. So even though it does not look too much, we have started a spring garden, and this should give you a lot of food. So seeding and planting is done. The last bit to water it, and as I water it, couple of things that you should understand. Anytime you plant a seed or anytime you plant a seedling, always water it. It's very important because there's a shock which happens, and the water helps it to slowly get used to the new environment. So what did we do? We did 2 things. The first one was I left them outside for a week, so it gets used to the environment as far as my temperature is concerned. Now I'm adding some water so it can use to the soil system that we just amended. One other thing, a mistake that I've been making, and I learned from my own mistake, we have a lot of crushed leaves in them, and my plants, I've started realizing they become nitrogen deficient. I did not add anything right now, but in a week or two, I will find some kind of organic fertilizer that will add to it to help it. And as I water, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like our video, and we'll see you soon.